The shark babe has such teeth, dear, and he shows them pearly whites. Just a jackknife wears old MacHeath, babe, but it keeps him out of sight. You know when that shark bites with his teeth, dear, scallop billows, they start to spread. Fancy gloves, though, wears old MacHeath, babe, so there's never a trace of red. Now from a sidewalk, one Sunday morning, don't you know, there's a body, hey, just oozing life. Someone sneaking around the corner. Could that someone be our boy, old Mac the knife? From a tugboat down by the river, don't you know, there's a cement bag dropping on down. That cement's there, it's there for the weight, dear. If I will get you 10, old Mackey's back in town. Did you hear about Louis Miller? He disappeared, baby, after drawing out all his hard-earned cash. Now Mackey spends, he spends like a sailor. Could it be our boys done something rash? I said Jenny Diver, whoa, sweet Georgie. Look out, Miss Lottie Lanyard, Lucy Brown. Yeah, the light falls on the right way. And now that Mackie, he's back in town. I said Jenny Diver, whoa, Sugi Tawdry. Look out, Miss Lottie Lanyard, Lucy Brown. Yeah, the light falls on the right way. Now that Mackie, whoa, he's back in town. Look out, old Mackie is back.
For all you swingers out there, or sorry, fans of swing music, that's Jamie Mack. Good afternoon, Jamie.
Good afternoon, Mark.
Welcome to the metropolis of Midlothian.
Thank you, lovely to be here.
Great stuff there, a Bobby Darin track, and that's the style that you do, Jamie. You do, well, in fact, you do lots of stuff. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I started off, I'm originally from the West Country, a little place in Somerset called Highbridge, which is just south of Weston-super-Mare. I started my career when I was around about 16. I was a keen swimmer, and I started on a holiday park as a lifeguard. And then within a couple of weeks, I started doing a bit of singing with the band, and one of the entertainers dropped out, and I took a job with the entertainments team over there, and just went on from there. So I started as a resident entertainer, and just started singing and getting my career going that way.
So I suppose it probably started by default.
It was definitely that way. I didn't realise I was going to be doing this at all.
So yeah, do you know, it's funny that because you know you've stumbled into it, and then you know it's then became your full-time career. Did you not have any inclinations? You know, when you were younger, was there any performances in front of the fireplace, in front of the parents and stuff like that? You know, was there any of that?
Definitely, there was a bit of that. Family get-togethers at Christmas. I remember doing a bit of Bat Out of Hell, Meatloaf, that kind of thing in front of the family. Not very well back then, I must say. But yeah, I've just kind of hopefully got a bit better as I've gone on, kind of thing.
Well, yeah. Now, I mean, obviously, you started off in the holiday parks as a resident entertainer, but you then went on the road. You then went out, doing the theatre stuff as well, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, in the winter months, I went and worked on P&O Cruises as a resident singer on there. And then in about 2000, I auditioned for a pantomime up here in Scotland, in Ayr. And I got the part as the Prince in Sleeping Beauty. And from there, carried on doing lots of different shows and productions around the country, touring. And then ended up living up here around about 2004, moved up here, yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's also, it's taken you, I mean, the cruises, so, you know, you went out in worldwide, should we say?
Well, yeah, I've been a few places, and I say probably the most glamorous place would be, I don't know, Hull, that's where we started.
Yes, the residents of Hull who are listening, we do apologise, and will not apologise for you living in Hull. And no, I mean, it's taking you to some really exotic places, like, you know, Ayr and...
Yeah, lived in Ayr for a wee while. I'm now based in Hamilton, which is I met a girl around about 2006, and we settled down and moved over to Hamilton, and got a wee boy now. So yeah, I'm very much settled up here now.
Well, we actually treat you as Scottish.
Well, yeah.
We treat you as Scottish now because you've been here for so long. Now, I mean, it's nearly 20 years now that you've been performing, because I know how old you are, but nearly 20 years. How would you have ever envisaged, I mean, from, you know, being the lifeguard and then joining the entertainment team to now being a full-time professional entertainer?
Definitely not. I didn't know what I was going to do. Didn't do the best in school. I think that was down to the fact that I was class clown, I think they called it back then. ADHD, I think they call it now. But yeah, so when I was back then, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, what I was going to do, and kind of just taking the lifeguard as a summer job started me off, and I literally was only doing it for 2 weeks before moving on to the entertainments team, and you know, learnt my trade that way, and dancing, and then learnt my acting as I went along. That the audition I did up here in 2000 for Sleeping Beauty was the first time I ever acted. I managed to get the part and just carried on from there, really. Just took to it.
We're going to talk more about your acting stuff in the sort of second segment, but we've just played a swing song, a Bobby Darin, Mac the Knife, and we're going to play another one. That's one of the shows that you do. Tell us a bit about the shows that you do.
Well, I do a few different shows, mainly based around the swing music. I've always loved swing, and I think for me, when Robbie Williams brought out the album Swing When You're Winning, I think it was early 2000s, and he did the concert at the Albert Hall. That kind of I really took to that, and I thought that's something I really like to do. So I started introducing swing songs into the set, and then eventually around about 2005 or 6, I put together a show called the Mac Pack, which is basically, my name's Jamie Mac, so I used that kind of I used it that way, and just do lots of different songs from Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Bobby Darin, and also Michael Bublé now.
Yeah, we'll talk more about the Bublé show. This is Jamie Mac, and Ain't That a Kick in the Head?
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fellow once said, ain't that a kick in the head? Her room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. The sun shining up to spread. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't that a kick in the head? All right. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? Well, my head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. She's telling me, well, beware. She's picked out a king-size bed. I couldn't be any better, or I'd be sick. tell me quick. I ain't that a kid.